and they're blushing. I can cure him. It goes from being so like, oh my god, cute, lesbians, romantic, to like nightmare fuel. In this video alone, I now have 3 5 stars. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This week, I am going to be attempting to read 7 books in 7 days. I have not been having the best reading lately. I've really been in a slump. In the past month and a half, I read, I think 5 books, which for me is a crazy low number. Nothing is grabbing my attention. All of the video ideas that I had, I'm just like struggling to read things for. So I thought for the next 7 days, I am just going to be reading whatever I want and as much of it as I possibly can. So I'm gonna show you a bunch of books that are like options of things that I could read, things that like I'm very excited about right now. I'm very much in a cozy mystery mood right now, so I have a bunch of options for that. We have The Golden Spoon, which is Great British Bake Off murder mystery. A Most Agreeable Murder, which is like Jane Austen murder mystery. Shady Hollow, Zootopia murder mystery, and In the Company of Witches, cozy witches murder mystery. So I could read any of these cozy mystery options. I also have a bunch of thrillers because I'm also in a thriller mood. So we have The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. I think this actually might be a horror about a psychiatrist in a mental hospital. I've heard that this one is crazy. We have Butcher and Blackbeard. This isn't technically a thriller, but it is a romance about serial killers, and it's supposedly a rom-com, which like, hello, yes. Then Temper by Lane Fargo, which is about obsession and theater actors. And then My Lovely Wife, which is about a married couple who bond over killing people together. Will I read all of these? Who's to say? I also really want to read A Murder in the Family because a ton of my patrons have been reading that lately and I'm feeling FOMO. That one is like a thriller about a Netflix documentary covering an old murder case. So what do all of these books have in common? Murder. I'm in the mood for murder, apparently. I'm in the mood for murder and romance. I'm in the mood for cozy murder. I'm in the mood for insane murder. Give me murder. So I'm already doing a terrible time at this vlog. The disrespect. I started Murder in the Family and I was like, let me just start it and see how it goes and then I'll like update the vlog. Wow. I just sat there and I listened to it all in one sitting and now I'm done with it and I haven't even told you guys about it. So this is a thriller that is about a Netflix documentary covering a true crime case. Oh, you want to hear about it? You want me to tell you about it? Okay, so basically, this guy who's now a famous director. Are you paying attention to me? This guy who's a famous director, when he was a kid, his stepfather died mysteriously in their home and they never solved the case. So now he is doing a documentary figuring out what happened. And so the whole book is told as like the documentary episode. So it's all told in like transcripts and like mixed media. And they get like a panel of experts in like different fields to... Dude, this is the second time you've done that. No respect. You got no respect. And they're all going over the case and uncovering it. Oh my god, it was so much fun. It was definitely the kind of book where like, if it had been written in like a normal narrative structure, it probably would have been 3 stars. But the format made it so entertaining. I really enjoyed it and I couldn't stop once I started. So I finished it now. And I'm giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. If you're looking for a thriller that just has like a fun gimmick, like, I don't know, I love a book with a gimmick, and this one was so fun. Like the plot twists were plot twisting. I would love to see it actually be adapted into a show. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. All right, today's now day 2 of this challenge, and today's probably gonna be one of my busiest days. I have to edit a vlog from start to finish, and that's probably gonna take me a long time. So I think today I'm gonna start a book that won't take me too long to read, and I'm gonna do Shady Hollow. This is a murder mystery in the village of Shady Hollow, a place where woodland creatures live together in harmony. And I've heard that it's really cute, so I feel like this will be a good one that I can listen to while I am editing my video. And if you look in here, there's a really cute map in the front of like all of the different places. It's just so adorable. I want to live there. I finished Shady Hollow earlier and I think it's gonna be 3 stars, maybe like 3.5. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super cute, but I don't think it's gonna be something that's like very memorable to me. It's one of those books that like I had fun while I was reading it. Will I remember it tomorrow? Probably not. With my horrible memory, I think she's gonna be chucked right out of there. I'm definitely giving Zootopia energy, although I did realize after I read it, it's not middle grade. I was talking to Sarah about it and I was like, yeah, I liked it, but I just don't read a ton of middle grade. And she was like, I don't think it's middle grade. Like, there's a character that's like an alcoholic and like a married couple that's having an affair. Like, there's very much adult themes in there. And I was like, you know what? Now that I think about it. So it is like an adult book. I think there wasn't any crazy content in it, but it was adult, but they're all animals. It's a whole series. I don't really feel compelled to continue, but it was cute. I mean, if you're looking for like a cute, cozy book about animals, I definitely recommend it. So now we're switching gears 100% and I'm gonna read The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. This is a horror book about a psychiatrist who gets a job at a mental hospital and there's a patient there who has been there for like 40 years and he's like isolated and everyone who interacts with him ends up dead. And the main character is like, I can cure him. Very much giving like girl who sees the bad boy and thinks she can change him energy. So I'm gonna start this and we'll see how much I read. I feel like I could finish it tonight. It's only 7 o'clock and it's not very long. It's 205 pages. So I'm gonna start it and I'll let you guys know what I think. I'm very excited. I'm at the halfway point of The Patient. I'm really enjoying it. I have a lot of theories. I've been sending all my theories to Sarah and she's not responding to any of them. So I'm like, am I on the right track or not? It is a very fast read. Basically what's happening is the main character has gotten permission to treat Joe, the patient who's been there since he was a little kid. He was committed when he was like 6. He's convinced that like he keeps seeing this monster. While he's in the mental hospital, everyone who has prolonged contact with him ends up killing themselves. So I was very correct in the beginning when I said that the main character Parker has like, I can change him energy. That's exactly what he's giving. He's just like so convinced that he's gonna be the one to fix this man. But I don't know if I said this. This was originally like a creepypasta Reddit story, which really reminds me of Pen Pal, which was a horror book that I loved. So I'm gonna finish the second half and then I will come back and let you guys know my thoughts. Oh my God. This was so good. 5 stars, 5 stars. Okay, all of my theories were like on track, but I did not figure out like the main thing. And then the ending, there was something that happened that was like very subtle that I'm like, am I supposed to be interpreting this the way that I am? Because if that is what is actually happening, then this is one of my favorite horror endings ever. I just messaged Sarah and I asked her if what I was interpreting the ending as is what she interpreted as, and she said yes. So that is what I'm going with because it's not definitively said, but there are a couple clues to, I don't want to spoil, there's a couple clues to the ending not being what you think it is. Like if you're reading between the lines, and that makes me love it so much more. Oh my God, this was so good. And it was such a quick read. I've been sitting here for like an hour. Yeah, I really loved this. I don't know if I already said 5 stars. This was great. Highly recommend if you're looking for a very fast-paced, twisty horror book. Good morning. It is day 3 of this challenge and I've already completed 3 books, so I am on schedule. I'm ahead of schedule. I think today I'm in the mood for, what am I in the mood for? I think I'm in the mood for something lighter and cozier. I feel like I want to like alternate between like thriller and cozy book. So I did Murder in the Family, then I did Shady Hollow, then I did The Patient. Now let's do something cozy. Like I showed you, I had some options. I have like 3 cozy mysteries. I have the audiobooks of both of these checked out from my library. So I think I'll go with one of these versus In the Company of Witches. I need to find the audiobook for this. I don't know if I can find it available at my library. So am I feeling Regency Jane Austen vibes or am I feeling Great British Bake Off vibes? I think I'm feeling Great British Bake Off vibes, which actually this is another mystery mystery following a TV show. When someone turns up dead on the set of TV's hottest baking competition, the contestants must band together in search of a killer before one of them is the next elimination. Fun fact about me, I love Great British Bake Off. It is one of my favorite comfort shows. I have really bad anxiety, and I especially get really bad night anxiety where I just like, I start spiraling at night. I can't sleep. One of the things that really helps me is watching Great British Bake Off before bed. So I've watched like all of the seasons several times. I really love it. It's just such a heartwarming. I'm not even a big like cooking, baking show person because I don't really like the intensity of competition. I like how Great British Bake Off is so wholesome and everyone is so nice. They're just out there like having a fun, silly time. I've been very excited to read this. I have heard mixed things, but I feel like I'm not going into this looking for it to be like the best mystery ever. I just want the Great British Bake Off vibes. So I'm going to start this. Like I said, I have the audiobook, which I feel like is going to be cool. The audiobook says that it's full cast. I feel like that will add to like the ambiance of it being a TV show. So I'm going to start listening to that right now while I am making a bunch of thumbnails for some videos coming up, and then I'll check in once I have like my first impressions. Now 100 pages into The Golden Spoon, and I'm really enjoying it. The audiobook is also really good. It's full cast. I don't know if I already said that. So basically what has happened so far is we met the creator of the show, the host, Betsy, and this show is like her baby. They brought in a new co-host for her, this like celebrity named Archie, and she really does not like him, and she's struggling working with him. And then we meet all of the contestants. There's quite a few contestants, and we flip back and forth between all of their perspectives and Betsy's perspective. I will say, it took me a little bit to get all of the characters straight. There is like a page that gives descriptions of all of the contestants. I had to kind of like flip back to that a couple times. But so far they've done the first day of competition, which was the bread challenge. And weird things have been happening where like one of the contestants, his refrigerator was open, so a lot of his stuff got ruined. Like some of the contestants had their sugar replaced with salt. Like there's just been like little sabotaging things going on that like we don't know why yet. And also one of the contestants, Lottie, who is the oldest contestant, has been seen just like weirdly walking around places at night that she like isn't supposed to be. So that's where we're at right now. It's interesting because we're 100 pages in and nobody has died yet. So I don't actually know how much the murder mystery aspect is going to play into it, but I am loving the Great British Bake Off vibes. I will say, if you don't like Great British Bake Off and you're not interested in reading about a baking competition, you are not gonna like this. Because that is the majority of what it is. Like I said, no murder has happened yet. I was kind of expecting at the end of day 1 is when the murder would happen, but now we're at day 2 and nobody's dead, which is fine. I'm more in it for the Great British Bake Off and less in it for the murder. So I'm really enjoying it. But if you don't like Great British Bake Off, you're probably not gonna like this at all. You're probably gonna find it really boring because it's a lot of scenes of like, here's what I'm baking, let me tell you about what I'm baking. The judges come over, like critique them. It's literally the show. I am now halfway into this book. I am really enjoying it. I wanna say that. However, the synopsis of this book is completely wrong. Still, no murder has happened, but there are mysteries going on. So I feel like, let me reread, like, I don't know why the synopsis leads with there being murders when there are other mysteries going on with each of the contestants. There's like something happening with each contestant that's interesting. So this could have just been like a regular mystery. I mean, obviously we know someone is gonna turn up dead. I'm halfway into the book and that hasn't happened yet. My personal opinion is that if it's in the synopsis, it should happen in the first third of the book. At least the first half. So I can see a lot of people going into this wanting murder mystery and then being disappointed because that's not what it is. But I'm really enjoying it. I have not read that many cozy mysteries, which I've always wanted to because I love cozy fantasy. So I just had the feeling that I would also love cozy mystery, and that's exactly what this is. Like I said, each character kind of has their own mystery surrounding them, or that they're like, you know, just like something happening with them, something weird. I am a little annoyed that the synopsis is misleading. It is giving me like Bake Off meets Only Murders in the Building. I feel like this is a book that's very specific and only specific people are gonna enjoy it. I decided to take a little reading break and watch some booktube, and I'm watching Meg's new video, and she actually did a similar video to this where she read 7 different genres in 7 days, and she's reading The Golden Spoon. So I was listening to what she was saying about it, and something that she said that I 100% agree with is that this book would have benefited from having the murder be at the very beginning, and then you flash back to like everything else that we've read, but like you've already seen the murder, so then the book would be like figuring out how you get there. I feel like that would have fixed a lot of the issues and maybe made it more interesting on like the murder mystery part, because I don't even know who dies, and at this point I don't even really care, but I am still having a fun time. Like I'm enjoying it. I just think this book was very mismarketed. All right, I have now finished The Golden Spoon. I have very conflicting feelings because it was really fun. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. But one, it's not a murder mystery. The synopsis is incorrect. The writing was just okay. I feel like this is a book that like I enjoyed. I'm giving it 3.5 stars. I had fun with it. I think it would make a really fun TV show. I actually saw that Hulu might be adapting it into a show. I don't know if I would really recommend it to people. I guess if you just love cozy mysteries and you also love Great British Bake Off, but you have to really love Great British Bake Off. And if you do pick it up, go into it knowing it is absolutely not a murder mystery. The main mysteries of the book is like who is sabotaging the contestants. Some of the contestants have like connections to other people, but the murder part is not a mystery. So yeah, I'm giving it 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, but I don't really know if this is a book that I would like widely recommend to people. I do think this is one of the first like cozy mysteries that I've read. I know that cozy mystery is like a legit genre. It's a genre that I really would like to explore more because I don't fully I don't fully know what makes a cozy mystery besides a mystery that has cozy vibes to it. So if you guys have any recommendations for me, I would love to know, because this is a genre that I really want to explore more because of how much I love cozy fantasy. I feel like cozy mystery is gonna be for me. I did want to show you some books that I have on my TBR that I think are cozy mysteries. You can let me know if they are or not. So we have the other ones that I've shown in this video, In the Company of Witches and A Most Agreeable Murder. I feel like both of these are cozy mysteries. And then I have 3 that I'm not super sure about. So Dial A for Aunties. It's about this girl who accidentally kills her blind date, and then her 4 aunties come to like help her get rid of the body. The Murder of Mr. Wickham. This is Jane Austen murder mystery, but like actually Jane Austen, where Mr. Knightley and Emma are throwing a party and then Mr. Wickham ends up dead and they're trying to solve who did it. And then The Maid, which I don't know if this one fits, but in a lot of the Goodreads reviews, people were comparing these 2 books. And this one is about a maid at a hotel who finds a dead body in one of the rooms. So I don't know, these are just some of the ones that I have on my TBR. You guys can let me know if you've read any of them, if they are cozy mysteries, if they're good, or if you have other recommendations for me. Please let me know, because I'm very new on my cozy mystery journey. All right, I just got a package and I think it's book mail. Hello. It is book mail. Check it out. Oh my god, this is so pretty. It's Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. This is a new horror book that just came out that I've been so excited about. It's a sapphic horror. Ooh, the end papers are pretty. It says Rosemary meets Ash at the farmer's market, and Ash is pretty and practically perfect. She's never felt this way about another woman, but as her obsession with Ash consumes her, she may find she's not the only one doing the devouring. A dark tale of passion taking an unsavory turn. Oh my god, that sounds really good. This cover is literally so stunning. I might read that sometime this week. I've been a reading machine, I think. I'm gonna take a little reading break, and then we'll decide what the next thing I want to read is. Oh my god, I have been dying to talk to you guys all day, but I've been so busy I haven't been able to film any clips. But last night I was like, let me just read a chapter of Bloom before I go to bed. I ended up staying up until like 1 a.m. reading it in one sitting. 5 stars. 5 stars. This is gonna be one of my favorite books of the year. I feel like there's so much of this book that like I want to talk about, but I can't because it's spoilers. Like there's so many things I want to compare it to. It was amazing. The first half of it just reads like a straight up romance book of these two women meeting at the farmer's market, falling in love. The main character, Ro, short for Rosemary, is a professor at a college, and she's at the farmer's market one day and sees a girl who runs one of the booths there selling like cupcakes and soap and candles and plants, and she just is like instantly captivated by her. She just recently got out of a relationship with her boyfriend who cheated on her, and she's actually never been attracted to women, but then she sees this woman and she's like immediately obsessed with her. And so every Saturday she keeps going back to the farmer's market to be able to talk to this girl. Eventually they start a romance. He goes back to her house with her, which is like this beautiful like old farmhouse. There's a barn, there's a garden, like doesn't use technology. She doesn't have a TV in her house. She makes everything that she uses from scratch. And Ro is just like completely enamored with her and can't stop thinking about her. Every time she like goes to the farmer's market, Ash gives her like another flavor of cupcake that she made. And there was a quote that I actually highlighted. It says, "She briefly wonders if eating the girl's food is anything like Persephone slipping rose red seeds between her lips in the underworld." I feel like that encompasses the vibe of this book. The first half of this book, I was like, the way that this just describes the experience of going from only dating men to then meeting a woman that you're attracted to, and like a light bulb goes off in your head, and then just being like completely obsessed with them, and this feeling of not knowing if you are attracted to them, if you want to be them, if you're jealous of them, and all of those feelings being mixed up. The second half of this book, insane. It goes from being so like, oh my god, cute, lesbians, romantic, to like nightmare fuel. Nightmare. Disgusting, disturbing, vile, sick, demented. The ending of this book, perfection. I'm gonna go grab some books that I feel like if you like these other books, you could potentially like this. Okay. This has nothing to do with plot, it is simply vibes. If you like the vibe of any of these books. First up, Eric LaRocca. I think that this book is for the Eric LaRocca girlies. Carmilla, A Certain Hunger, House of Hunger. Again, not plot-wise or setting or like any of that, simply vibes, okay? If you are the type of reader who liked any one of these books, oh my god, you have to read this. This book doesn't even have an audiobook. I read this with my eyeballs like a peasant. That is how you know how much I loved it. I probably read max 2 books a year without an audiobook. I almost never do that. So I have to really love a book to do that, because it's very hard for me to process what I'm reading without an audiobook. I was obsessed. Oh my god, it's blurbed on the back by Eric LaRocca. That makes so much sense. The second that I read the last line of the book, I immediately wanted to turn back to the beginning and read it again. I think I might, honestly. It was just so good. This is definitely not gonna be the book for everybody, but it was so specifically for me. I loved every second of it. Easy 5 stars. This is 100% gonna be on my favorites list at the end of the year. I'm so glad that the inside matched up to this beautiful cover, because how disappointing is it when you read a book that has such a stunning cover and then it's not good. Now I'm gonna switch to another book. I need an audiobook. So I think I might start Butcher and Blackbeard by Bryn Weaver. This is a romance book. I feel like coming off of the romance vibes of this book and the direction it went in, I need like a legit romance. This one is a rom-com about serial killers. I've heard that this is really good, so I'm excited. Oh my god, so far my reading this week has just gone so well. All right, I changed into my spooky pumpkin top, and I decided, actually, I love this book so much, we are adding it to the favorites shelf. So let's go over and find a good spot for it. I actually think I want the cover on display since it's so pretty. So we might actually take out this book, slide it in there where it goes. We can put this right there. Ooh! Okay, yes. I love that. Look at her. She is so pretty. Oh, also I need to change this up here because it is Friday the 13th. I'm a little behind on my numbers. There we go. Friday the 13th. All right, I have been listening to the audiobook for, I keep forgetting the title of this book, Butcher and Blackbeard. Blackbeard? No, Blackbird. Oh my god, it's because I'm watching Our flag means death. So I keep thinking that it's Blackbeard. Butcher and Blackbeard. Butcher and Blackbeard. It's Blackbird. I am 80 pages into it. Oh my god, I'm loving it. Oh my god, the banter is so good. The audiobook is amazing. Joe Arden really popped off with this one because he had me sitting there blushing. The plot is that these two infamous serial killers meet while they're like going after the same target. They're both killers who kill other killers, and they decide that it would be fun to have a little yearly competition between the two of them where they're like assigned a target, and then they both have to go try to kill that person, and whoever kills them first wins. And it's like a little just like fun competition between the two of them. They're like so attracted to each other. She's very resistant to it, but he is literally obsessed with her, which is my favorite. That is my favorite. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I definitely think I'll be able to finish this today because I did all the work stuff that I needed to do, and then I don't have anything that I'm doing until I think 7 tonight. I'm gonna watch Saw with some of my friends, but until then, I'm just gonna sit here and listen to this and live my best life. I've honestly been looking for a serial killer romance that I love since I read the Mindfuck series, and nothing has been as good. And this definitely has different vibes from the Mindfuck series, where this is more like funny and comedic, but it has similar energy. All right, we are about to start watching Saw. So I'm gonna set up the vibes in here so it is dark. Loki, are you excited to watch Saw? He is very much not excited. All right, we are now on day 5? 4? 5. I'm losing track. Yes, I'm back in my haunted sweatshirt. Also, I feel like I never leave this room. I feel like I've been in this room this entire vlog, but like genuinely, I just spent all day sitting at this desk. My plans for today are to just hang out, relax, read. I want to finish Butcher and Blackbird. And then tonight, with my patrons, we're doing watch parties for The Haunting of Hill House. We're all watching the show together every Saturday. So tonight, we are watching episodes 4 and 5. And I am very excited because it's one of my favorite spooky Halloween horror shows, and it's very fun because like half of us who are watching have watched it many times, and then the other half have never seen it before, so it's like a good mixture. So we're doing that tonight at 6, so I definitely feel like I can finish my book before then, but I'm really enjoying it. It's been a while since I read a romance. Honestly, this year has not been my year for romance, which like I've been feeling a little bit of like imposter syndrome a little bit because I don't know, I feel like I know a lot of people follow me or like started following me when I was reading a lot of romance, and sometimes I just feel like I'm not giving the people what they want. But I'm the type of person where I can't force myself to do anything that I'm not completely invested in. I'm like an all or nothing person. Either I'm gonna do something 10,000% or I'm already out the door. If I'm not feeling something, I can't force myself to do it, and I just haven't been feeling romance lately, which is very depressing because I love romance. It just hasn't been what I've been wanting to read. And then I also feel like, are people like disinterested in the other books that I'm talking about that aren't romance? And when I was reading romance, I felt so connected to like the romance reader community. But now that I'm not, I don't feel that connection anymore. And I feel like I've almost lost my place in the community, or like I have no specific place in the book community. I'm not a horror booktuber, but I read a lot of horror. I'm not a fantasy booktuber, but I read a lot of fantasy. And I'm not a romance booktuber, but I read a lot of romance. Like sometimes I feel like I don't really have like a specific place, and I don't really know where I fit. I don't know. These are just my little insecurities that I've been thinking about, especially this year. All that's to say, I am really enjoying this book. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if it's gonna be like a 5-star read. It might. I don't know, but I'm really enjoying it. It is so fun, and I'm hoping that it kind of jumpstarts my want or desire to read more romance again, because like, I mean, we're literally sitting in front of all my romance bookshelf. I have so many that I want to read. It just hasn't been what I've been gravitating towards. But I also feel like I have no idea how people perceive me. Like, do people perceive me as a specific kind of booktuber? Like, do people look at me and they're like, she's a romance booktuber, she's a horror booktuber? Like, I have no idea. Maybe this is just like all in my head. All right, that was my very quick, I'm not wearing makeup look. Oh my god, last night I was looking up to see what other things Delilah S. Dawson has written. I was like, I've never heard of this author before. What else has she written? Well, apparently I have one of her books on my TBR, and I've read another book by her. I have this book, The Violence, which I've heard very mixed things about, but I have been wanting to read. But she writes a lot of graphic novels, actually, and I read one of them, Lady Castle. I read this in 2018, and do you wanna know what my review was? This made me crack up. I said, so you're telling me that there's a whole town of only ladies and none of them are gay? Now, in my Delulu brain, I am convinced that Miss Delilah S. Dawson read that review and said, you know what? I'm gonna write her a book that is so gay, she's gonna eat her words. And I did. I'm eating my words because Bloom was one of the gayest books I've ever read. All right, I am going to dive back into the audio of Butcher and Blackbird and try to finish that before my Patreon Haunting of Hill House night. All right, I am getting ready to watch episodes 4 and 5 of The Haunting of Hill House with my patrons. I'm so excited because these 2 episodes are 2 of my favorite from the whole season. But I went out earlier and I got some snacks. So I got sour gummy worms, and then I also got hot Cheeto fries, but I already ate them all. I was like, let me just have a couple, and then I ate the whole bag. I will only be eating these. Loki's here with me. I did get him some treats, so I'll give him some of those later. But I think we're gonna start in like 5 minutes. I'm just waiting for some of my patrons to get here, and I'm so excited. We just finished watching The Haunting of Hill House, and I forgot that those are like the saddest episodes. We were all just so sad at the end. But in better news, I finished Butcher and Blackbird, and it's 5 stars. You know what is actually so crazy? I was looking at my Goodreads and I realized that before this video, I had not had a 5-star book since June. No wonder I've been in a slump and I haven't been enjoying reading that much because I haven't been having any 5 stars. So can we talk about how crazy it is that in this video alone, I now have 3 5 stars. The Patient, Bloom, and now this. I feel like I need to do this challenge more often, or like do more challenge vlogs where I can just read whatever I want and it's not like a set TBR, because this has worked out so well for me. But this was amazing. I feel like this is my kind of dark romance. I have been struggling the past year with dark romance, and I think it's because what I like out of dark romance is where like the situation is dark, the plot is dark, but the couple is not dark. And that's exactly what this was. Like, yes, they're serial killers, but they're so sweet together. They're so cute. It starts off like a friends to lovers where they're like just friends, and then oh my god, it's so good. It is so good. It was so good. I loved it. And like even the dark parts of the book were very funny. It very much has rom-com vibes, which I feel like it's very hard to find a romance book that is actually funny. This was actually funny. So I feel like if you're the type of reader who wants to read dark romance, but you're like me and you don't enjoy the dark romances where the couple is very dark or they're like abusive to each other, where there's like consent issues, I feel like you would enjoy this. It was just so fun. So it's now 9 o'clock and I think I'm gonna go to bed because I have a lot that I need to do tomorrow, and then we will pick what is going to be my 7th and final book for this vlog. But this has gone so much better than I anticipated. Today is day 6 of my reading 7 books in 7 days video, and I'm already on my 7th book. So I'm 1 day ahead of schedule. I posted a poll a couple days ago between 2 books. So I'm gonna check that because I haven't looked, but the 2 books that people were voting between is My Lovely Wife and Temper, because I'm in the mood for a thriller. So let's find out what I'm reading because I have no idea. Ooh, okay. Oh, it was close. It was close, but My Lovely Wife won. So this is what I will be reading. So as you saw, I am reading My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. This was voted on by my patrons. This is a thriller about a married couple who kill people together. The husband, we actually don't know his real name. He poses as this guy named Tobias and pretends to be deaf to like lure women for his wife to then kill. So it's very interesting so far. However, I'm gonna be honest, I think this is one of those situations where I never really like listened to anybody talk about this book. So I created a plot in my head of what I thought this book was gonna be, and it's not. It's not what it actually, I mean, it kind of is what it is, because like what I just said about a husband and wife like killing people together. That's definitely what I thought it was. But I thought it was gonna be more like badass, like couple killing people together, like badass woman killer, you know, kind of like mindfuck vibes. No, that's not what this is. Firstly, it's all in his point of view, which, to be honest, if I had known that, I might have been less inclined to pick this up, because I was thinking it was going to be like female serial killer perspective. I thought we would get both perspectives, but we don't get hers at all, which I don't like, because I don't like the husband. I don't like him. He's whiny and annoying. I don't know, he's just complainy and acts like his wife is such a psycho, evil person, which, like, sure, valid, but so are you, dude. But he's just so like, oh, my crazy wife. I don't know. It's not what I expected it to be. And the plot that I've invented in my head is a lot better. So I'm gonna finish it right now. I have been very busy today. I did sprints with my patrons. I edited this entire video, and then I packed because I'm going out of town for a couple days. So she's been booked, she's been busy, and we're gonna try to finish this. So I'll come back when I'm done and we'll chat about it. I finished my lovely wife, and unfortunately it was not a slay. It was not. I hated the ending. Hated it. I really read this whole book about a man. Y'all tricked me into reading a book about a man. I wanted badass female killer. Instead, I got a boring, bitchy man. That's not what I wanted. Especially after all of the amazing serial killer books that I've read this week. This was so disappointing. It was so disappointing. I'm gonna put a little picture right here. So if you don't want to be spoiled for this book, skip until the picture's gone, okay? Basically, at the end of the book, they've like killed a lot of people together. He's killed people, she's killed people, and he finds out that she has been working behind the scenes to like pin all the murders on him, which, like, go off, queen. So instead, he like flips it to pin them all on her. They're like having a fight about it, and their daughter overhears them and decides to kill her mom. Okay, so she kills her. The mom is now dead, and the husband gets away with everything. Everyone thinks he's so innocent, and he acts innocent too. He's like, oh my God, yeah, I was just like my crazy wife. And then the book ends with him going out and pretending to be deaf again with a new hidden identity that he like used to lure women before. So he's still doing his shit. So he did all that to his wife for what? It made no sense, because like, his whole reasoning at the end of like why he wanted to get rid of his wife was because he didn't want his kids to be raised by a murderer. But I'm like, dude, y'all been murderers this whole time. Did you forget that? Did you forget that your kids have always been raised by murderers? So you were cool with it when you were involved, but now suddenly your wife wants to go do her thing and it's a problem? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know, 2 stars. I did not like the direction that it went in. I'm sorry. Did not care about this man one bit. That is the end of my 7 books in 7 days. And if you started this video thinking, Riley, I don't think you can read 7 books in 7 days, joke's on you, because I did it in 6. And not only that, but I read some amazing books. I think if I was ranking all the books that I read, My Lovely Wife would definitely be on the bottom, then probably Shady Hollow, The Golden Spoon, then Murder in the Family, which I don't have a copy of, then maybe The Patient, Butcher and Blackbird, and then Bloom is going right on top where she belongs. But it was a great reading week. I had so much fun doing this. Let me know in the comments which book that I read sounds the most interesting to you, or if you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and check out my Patreon where I post tons of exclusive content. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!